Speaking about Harvard, one teacher there says there's a strong connection between Wall Street trading and poker playing. He's a poker pro himself and is here to explain this most unusual link. He's Brandon Adams, and he teaches behavioral science at Harvard. And Brandon, great to have you with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
And we have heard before this connection between poker playing and Wall Street trading. But in your studies, though, I mean, what exactly is the strongest link between the two?
Well, both are obviously about risk and reward, and both require huge amounts of discipline. In both cases, your potential edges are very small relative to the vig or the house take. In poker, you have a rake where the casino or the online poker site is taking a few percent from every pot. And the edges that you can conceivably have over another player tend to be somewhat low relative to that vig. Quite similar to financial markets, where the edges that you might have in any given trade are somewhat small relative to the bid-ask spreads and the commissions.
Right. You've got to deal with very narrow opportunities of profit, but. I mean, some might say, though, for poker players, I mean, it's a little bit different because they've got a bit more time than Wall Street traders, you know, who have just really, just seconds to make their decisions. I mean, what do you say to that?
Well, poker players have to act very quickly, especially in the online environment. Typically, the decisions are given a restriction of 15 seconds or something. So I can imagine traders having to react more quickly than that, but I would be leery of a trading decision that was made on literally a split-second basis.
And we're not just talking about this in sort of an ethereal way. I mean, in fact, there are some option and trading houses out there that are actually hiring hiring poker players. Is that right?
Yes, that's true. There are some firms that are very, very outspoken about wanting to hire top poker players. Places like Susquehanna, the option market making firm. And they actually have some employees there who almost spend half their time on poker. They're given weeks off here and there to focus on poker. One of the top limit hold'em players in the world, Matt Harverlinko, started his career at Susquehanna and then switched solely to poker.
Right.
I think what these firms are looking for are survivors in the poker world. The poker world is
the best
very
of the best,
brutal.
Then. But is there any evidence that those who switch from poker playing to trading are actually more successful than others? Is there any evidence of that?
I think so. Some of the founders of top Wall Street firms started their careers in poker players. The founder of Susquehanna, Jeffrey Yass, started out as a poker player. As I understand it, the founder of the firm AQR, the hedge fund AQR, is a poker player. In the corporate world, famously, Bill Gates was a poker player.
Okay, so there's some evidence there, yeah. Okay, Brandon, we're actually out of time, but thanks so much for your time on this. Certainly an interesting discussion. Brandon Adams, who teaches behavioral science at Harvard, talking about the link between poker players and Wall Street traders.